Hi, Paul. I really want to know about hydrogen.
I'd love to tell you more. So what we're looking at here is a propane wok burner that has been converted to run on hydrogen. So we have a little carbon fiber tank here that's full of hydrogen. We used to use propane tanks, but they were difficult to carry around, so we made a more compact system. But the reason this was built was to work with first responders and the general public and educate them about the facts related to hydrogen. There's a lot of misinformation and a lot of fear surrounding hydrogen because everyone thinks it's extremely explosive. Well, it's not. Lots of things can be explosive, but it's just a flammable gas.
Okay.
And it turns out that it's the safest flammable gas that we know of. And that's contrary to most opinions, right? So what we're going to demonstrate here is two particular reasons why hydrogen is safer than any other flammable gas. Now, it's a flammable gas, so you got to handle it with respect. But other than that, it's no different from propane or any other gas, and in fact, it's much safer. So hydrogen is an amazing element. It's the most abundant element in the universe. It's also the lightest element in the universe. It's 14 times lighter than air. So it's twice as light as helium, in fact. And everybody knows how light helium is. Well, hydrogen goes up at 45 miles per hour. That's how fast it is in buoyancy. That's 66 feet a second. So by the time you go 1001, it's 6 stories away. It's really moving fast, and it's really hard to keep it around and contain it. So what we're going to do is open up the valve, and you can hear there's an audible leak of hydrogen.
I just stepped back.
And it's feeling that everybody steps back.
Great.
So conventional wisdom would be if there's a spark in the room, it would explode. Well, it won't. It'll actually blow the flame out before it actually ignites because it's hitting air molecules and scattering, and it's no longer a combustible mixture at that point. You've got to get really close to the jet where the hydrogen comes out to get it to ignite.
So if you have a leak, it's dispersing.
It's just gone.
Okay.
That hydrogen, by the way, was gone within seconds after I stopped turning the valve. It hit the ceiling, ran out the continuous vents at the top of the building. It's gone already. It's on its way to make clouds somewhere. Okay. So the second thing or phenomenon that makes hydrogen safer is that it easily lights down here. And this is really cool because this relates to the Hindenburg. Because there's no carbon in this fuel, it's purely hydrogen, only one element. I can put my finger less than an eighth inch from the flame, and there's no heat.
Wow.
But over here, it's over 500 degrees.
Yeah, I can feel it right here.
Right,
but
it's going
you're
straight
saying
up.
If I go this way,
Right.
oh.
Yeah, you can put your hand underneath here, and it's barely warm.
Wow, that's crazy.
And you can see this wok burner
I can't believe that.
has over 300 hours of use on it, right? We have cooked a lot on this thing. We've done demonstrations for years. It's never been repainted, never been refinished. If it were propane, it would be a piece of rust right now. It would have oxidized.
So why aren't we using this more?
That's a good question, and it's really, we get asked all the time, what's the biggest obstacle to the widespread deployment of hydrogen? It's not the storage issues, it's not the cost, it's the ignorance and fear surrounding hydrogen. Everyone thinks it's very dangerous. It's just a flammable gas, and it's the best cooking gas you can get. It's hotter than propane, it's very controllable, it's odorless, non-toxic, and this, by the way, was made with sunlight and water with energy we would have thrown away, our excess energy. So you could replace your cooking fuel with hydrogen made from the energy your solar panels would be wasting every day.
Sounds like, it's time for lunch.
Yeah. We've had some interesting people actually cook meals on here and have demonstrations.
This is fantastic. And so, can you buy this type of grill currently?
No. So this was built for demonstration. There's a Taiwanese company that makes a HHO stove. Now, what HHO is hydrogen and oxygen that's been produced through electrolysis, but they're not kept separated. The two gases are mixed. It's a much hotter gas than pure hydrogen, but you can't store it in any quantity. It's very dangerous, right? It's the perfect ratio of oxygen to hydrogen to be as flammable as possible. But if you make it on demand, right at the source where you're going to burn it, there's no stored amount that can be dangerous.
Okay.
So they make an HHO stove that you basically plug into the wall. It's electric appliance, but it produces gas for cooking. And for woks, I mean, Asian cooking, you've got to have a wok, right? So it is the best that there is. And we're working on a small project right now to make a hydrogen stove that runs off of one solar panel. And it would produce HHO on demand so that we can eliminate the 2 million people that die every year from cooking indoors with wood or dung and, in third world countries. So
That's fantastic.
that would be a game changer. And it's something that's doable. We just have to get the cost down from scale of manufacturing and then have agencies distribute those all over the world to different countries.
And so just to get me through just to talk about the science and physics that's happening here, you're talking about taking a solar panel,
Right.
that solar panel would do
Electrolyze the water.
electrolyze the water, splitting it into its hydrogen and oxygen, and then you would take that hydrogen gas that's been produced and burn it
Right.
there on demand
Yep.
to be able to cook with.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
It's really simple, and it's just a matter of getting the cost down, like I said, through the scale of manufacturing. And eventually, if we can make those inexpensively enough, that could solve a lot of problems. In addition to the health hazards from cooking indoors with that, they actually destroy their resources of all the wood.
Right.
So it's their only cooking fuel that they can get. So it basically wipes out any chance for the forest to take hold, right?
And just using the power of the sun.
Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
Welcome.